everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Carly and welcome to Carly Lifts Forks. Today's video is an incredibly difficult video for me to record. I've been wanting to talk about this for a really long time, and as you can probably tell from the title, I'll be talking about my experience with gaining weight. The three parts to this video include one, a little backstory of my fitness journey, how I lost weight in the first place, and what I was doing. My second part of this video is going to be how I gained all of that weight back and what happened for that to even occur. And the third part of this video is how I deal with it now. How do I cope with having gained so much weight after losing so much weight? So you can watch through the whole video, or if you're just interested in certain parts, I will be leaving the timestamps below, so you could just click on which part you want to watch. So without further ado, let's get started. So my weight loss journey started about 10 years ago when I was 11 years old. I had blood work done and it did not come out great, so my mom decided that I needed to change my eating habits. I did this originally by just making like healthier swaps, so she would buy whole grains instead of white grains and things of that nature, switch to lean proteins, less fried food, yada yada, the whole nine. But it wasn't so much what I was eating. I was having more of an issue with portion control, which became apparent throughout my entire weight loss journey that it's not what I'm eating, it's really how much I'm eating. So I started Weight Watchers. I did Weight Watchers for a couple of years and I was super successful with it. I had lost something like 12 to 15 pounds without exercising. I would just track my food. I was lucky because I was so young, so my mom would really be doing most of the work. I didn't really have to do much except make the right choices, so it worked out great. And throughout that time, I stayed at a pretty healthy weight. I would fluctuate here and there, and when I go off of Weight Watchers, I wouldn't necessarily keep the weight off, but I never really gained like so much weight until about I would say 8th grade is when I started to like pack on some pounds, and it was also kind of towards the end of that puberty age, so I had grown in a lot of places. I'm not going to be explicit, but I was just putting on weight in general, and I just looked really puffy, and that is when I think I first started to realize I didn't like being overweight. I had gone to the gym a few times, but I didn't stick with Weight Watchers. I didn't go to the meetings anymore, so I stopped doing it. Which Weight Watchers really does work. I had such success on it, so I couldn't stick to it anymore. As a high schooler, I didn't care enough. I didn't want to be in a room filled with middle-aged women and men, and I wanted to do my own thing. So freshman and sophomore year of high school, I started to get interested in working out. I wasn't really that crazy about it. I developed really poor eating habits in the sense that I would overeat, then undereat, then overeat, then undereat. I ended up really starting to care about my weight when I was at the end of my junior year of high school. I was 17 years old. I had started dating a guy who was really fit and really muscular, and I kind of was like, hey, I want to look like just as good as my boyfriend does. I don't want to be this chubby overweight girl. And at the time I was working at a pizzeria, so obviously all I was eating was pizza, so I really did put on a lot of weight right before my senior year started that summer. So thanks to him, I was able to start working out properly and going to the gym consistently, and it was an instant addiction. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this one step further and become a bikini competitor. And that was the greatest experience of my life. But it did come with some costs. I also developed an unhealthy relationship with food because I was dieting so hard to lose so much weight so quickly. I went from 140 down to 100. I lost 40 pounds for that competition season, and I think I did that in something like 20 weeks. It was crazy. I'm gonna try and throw some pictures of what I looked like. So yeah, I looked amazing. I was in incredible shape, but I was so thin. And naturally, I just don't think I'm built to be 100 pounds. At that point now, I'm at 100 pounds, and I decided that I was going to stop competing because I could no longer afford it, and it was just exhausting, and I felt like I wasn't living my life as a 20-year-old, so I just kind of gave it up. And I tried really hard to maintain my weight, and I did a pretty good job. I sat in between 125 and 130, which I felt amazing at. I felt really comfortable. Like, obviously, you're at that point where I'm like, I could have lost a couple pounds, but I was eating out with my friends. I was living life. I was doing really well. And then junior year of college hit. Junior year of college is really when I put on the weight that I have been struggling to get off, and was the most difficult year, I think, of my life. But I was able to keep my weight and my eating under control, and then I just started to drink a lot. I was so social because I felt that my first 2 years of college, since I was competing, I didn't have much of a social life. I didn't go out, I didn't get drunk, I didn't really do much. So I felt like I had to make up for that. And along with that type of partying lifestyle is there's a lot of calories from alcohol and a lot of calories from eating out, and the drunk eating and the pizza and the snacking. It really creeped up on me so fast. I'm not gonna get into it, but I went through a lot of loss, and I was hurt, and I hurt people, and I just had a really difficult year, and the best thing that I knew to do was to eat my way through it. I coped with the stress of life that I had never felt before by eating. And it didn't help that now I'm living off campus next to all of these amazing food places, and I had a job, so I had an income, so I could afford to eat out all the time. And it was just mayhem. It was a really emotional time and a very difficult time. And I know a lot of people gain weight during stress or lose weight during stress, but I put on about 20 pounds in 3 months between January and April, and then I turned 21. And so after that, it was, I couldn't stop eating. I couldn't stop drinking. I couldn't get a grip. I just couldn't stop because I had so many emotions. I just could not have, I didn't have a grip on my life at all. School was hard. I did really well, but there was just so much going on where I kind of forgot about fitness and food. And I feel like that was a huge elephant in the room, especially if you know me personally. Everyone at college always knew me as that girl who was always at the gym, always really into fitness, and then all of a sudden I ballooned up into this very large, very hefty looking girl who, you would look at me and be like, oh, this girl works out? Like, I had no idea. It was embarrassing. I honestly was so embarrassed. Like, I would spend most of my days in sweatpants and sweatshirts and just kind of like hiding out. My body hasn't changed since then. I haven't gained weight. I haven't lost weight. I haven't put on muscle. I haven't, whatever. Nothing happened. I've just been staying the same since essentially last summer. And that is how I gained weight. I used food as an escape from the difficulties of becoming an adult and having all this pressure on you and so many other things. So as difficult as it was, there was a lot of learning, and at the time I just put fitness and my health and working out and eating healthy on the back burner, and that was truly a learning experience. Okay, so here I am. I have gained all of this weight. I'm uncomfortable with how I look. I don't feel good. My clothes don't feel good. I've been tired. I get sick often. So, what do I do every day, waking up in the morning, looking at myself in the mirror, knowing I'm 40 pounds heavier than I once was not that long ago? How do I cope with that? First, some days are just bad days. Yes, I do have bad days. It does happen. But secondly, on days where I can combat those negative feelings, first, I think it's really important to get clothing that flatters you and that you're comfortable in. What's the point of wearing clothing that doesn't flatter you, where you can go out and not think about how you look in your clothes? I know it's hard to like buy clothes that you fit in right now, because I used to be the type of person, well, I'm gonna buy this bathing suit because I'm gonna lose 10 pounds in a couple of months and I'll be able to wear it. No, buy what fits you right now so you feel good right now. Don't put yourself in something where you're going to be uncomfortable. Don't wear something where you're going to care the entire day or night about, are my rolls sticking out? Do I have fat coming off of my back? It has helped me tremendously to just let go of some of the clothing styles that I would would like to wear, but they just don't make me feel good. I don't care what other people think about me when I go out wearing a crop top. I care about how I think about me, and that is what is important. The third thing I like to do is to separate myself from social media. I have had a love-hate relationship with things like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook because I used to put a lot of my fitness and weight loss journey up there, and I would highlight all of the good things. I lost 10 pounds, I lost 20 pounds, look at my six pack, like check out my abs. And now I'm kind of like, well, I'm not posting anything like that, and people are probably wondering, and if they do see pictures of me, like I obviously don't look that good anymore. I just don't let it get to me anymore. I don't care if there are girls sitting in a circle in their living room looking at my Instagram being like, oh, she gains probably like 25 pounds. She looks terrible. Like, oh my God. I don't care. I started my Instagram and my Facebook and this for that matter because I'm doing it for me. I'm doing something that makes me feel good. If you want to sit around and talk about it with your friends, put me on your Finsta, go for it. I really do not care. I am living my life doing things that make me happy. I have an incredible support system, and I think a lot of people have incredible support systems. Even if it's your family, your friends, there are so many groups on Facebook and Instagram where you find people who are there to support you. I have some of the best people in my life who have been with me and who may not be with me right now, who have been part of my journey, that have been there to lift me up on my worst days. And for that, that is what I care about. I don't care about the negative comments. And it's easier said than done. I'm sure there have been times and will be times where I am down because I see the things or I think about the things people say about me. But I have lived too much of my life caring about what other people think of my social media, of my highlight reel, of what they think is going on in my life, because half the time they don't even know the story, which is why I'm telling you it. Because maybe, just maybe, you will think that the person you think you knew on the internet, you probably don't, and that everyone's fighting their own battle, including me. I may not show it all the time, and I may not be the most expressive on the internet, but I am fighting a battle, and you're probably fighting a battle, and your friends are probably fighting a battle, because that's just part of life. And when you stop, and I mean genuinely stop caring, you feel better. And that's that. Okay, so I really hope that you might take something away from this video. I feel really passionate about this topic, and I think that gaining weight can have so many negative implications and can cause so much physical and emotional distress. And if you've been there or you know someone who's been there, it's important to understand that it's okay and everything will get better. What can you do tomorrow to make you a better person? What choices can you make right now that's going to make you feel good about you? That is what needs to happen. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed, or give this video a thumbs up, and I really appreciate it.